7 Tips for Cold Calling Success. The staff of Entrepreneur Media Inc. In their book, Start Your Own Business, the staff of Entrepreneur Media Inc. guides you through the critical steps to starting your own business, then supports you surviving the first 3 years as a business owner. In this edited excerpt, the authors offer some tips that will make you a cold calling pro. The aspects of selling that strikes the greatest fear in people's heart is usually cold calls. A good way to make cold calls more appealing is to stop thinking of them as cold calls. Try thinking them as introductory calls instead. All you're trying to do is introduce yourself and your business to prospects. It's important to understand the purpose of introductory calls so you have a realistic attitude about this type of business development activity. Phone prospecting takes longer to pay off than other types of marketing efforts. So you go into it knowing that you're exploring a new frontier and it's going to take some time to get some results. As with any marketing method, you should never make introductory calls without a plan. First, always use a targeted list of prospects when making your calls. If your product is a household cleaning service, why call a random neighborhood if you have no knowledge of income levels, number of household wage earners, or number of children? If you sell nutritional products to hospitals, why call nurses or doctors if a third-party pharmacy makes all the buying decisions? Get the right list of prospects. You can obtain information about prospects from the list of broker who provide you with the list. If you're working from your house list, you should already have the information. If for some reason you don't, try an introductory call like the following. We provide mobile pet grooming for dogs and cats. Would that be a service your customers would want to know about, Dr. Veterinarian? Next, determine the best time frames for calling. If you're selling financial services to upper income CEOs or entrepreneurs, wouldn't it be nice to know when their corporate fiscal year ends? Perhaps most of their investment purchases are made 2 to 4 weeks prior to that year end close out. That is when they know how much extra income needs to be sheltered in a pension plan. Sometimes timing is your ace in the hole. Granted, follow-up calls throughout the year may make that one important sales possible, but knowing when to investigate the first call is a priceless piece of information. Third, plan by preparing a sales script. Write down what you're going to say and what responses the prospect is likely to have, if and how you'll reply to them. No, you're not going to follow this word for word, but you're nervous about making calls. But if you're nervous about making calls, it helps to have something in front of you. Chances are, after you get beyond the opening sentences, you'll be able to wing it just fine. If preparation for cold calling is easy, but actually making calls is painful for you, here are 7 easy steps to get you on the phone fast. Personalize each call by preparing mentally. Your mind is set, needs to be aligned with your language, or the conversation won't ring true. You need to work on developing a warm but non-sugar-coated telephone voice that has that "don't I know you" ring to it. Perfect your phone style alone before making any calls. If you're self-conscious about calling, you need to feel safe and uninhibited. Try this. Gather a voice recorder, a mirror, and a sales journal of incoming and outgoing phone call scripts, a pen, and a legal size pad. Either write or select a favorite phone dialogue, then talk to yourself in the mirror. Do you look relaxed, or are your facial expressions rigid? Our exterior reflect our inner selves. If you look like you're in knots, your voice will sound strained as well. Press the record button on your recorder and pretend you're talking to a new prospect. Play back the recording and listen to your conversation. Ask yourself how you could improve on your delivery. If your voice seems unnatural, the dialogue contrived, don't despair. As you practice and participate in real phone exercises, you'll improve. Mastering the art of cold calling is no different than improving your golf swing or skiing technique. Create a familiarity around you. Use family photos, frame testimonial letters, motivational quotes, or whatever gets you in the positive, enthusiastic mood. If you like, play some music that inspires you. Use your imagination. Pretend you're on a prospective customer calling bookstore to see if they have a book in stock. If it helps, record how you sound to feel your inquiring phone voice. It's always easier to imagine you're a customer in need of information than a salesperson trying to force your way into the customer's time. The inquiry call is a good practice because the tone of the conversation is, "Can you help me? I need some information." Try to convey that same attitude when you use the phone to contact future customers. Watch your tone of voice. You don't want to sound sheepish or embarrassed, nor do you want to be arrogant. The ideal tone is warm, businesslike, curious, and straight to the point. A good option is a question or cut to the chase statement such as, "I've got a question. We're offering a 2-for-1 special during the next 30 days on all our coffee drinks just to get people in the store. I need to know if you've ever stopped in while shopping at the mall. And if not, why not? Why not? We have to get the greatest ice blended mochas in town. Make your goal a fast and 50 in 150. That is 50 calls in 150 minutes. 3 minutes per call is all you need. With so many voicemail systems intercepting calls today, that should be easy. Never give people the impression that you have time to chat. Chatting isn't prospecting. You're on a mission. Get to the point and then move on to the next prospect. Take 5 minutes after 15. After 15 calls, take a 5-minute break stretch. Eat, sip a soda, turn on some tunes, and pat yourself on the back because you're making it happen. Then go grab the phone for 15 more calls.